Commence primary ignition.
Hello, this is Nelson Lee. I play Senator Hamato Ziono on Ahsoka, and you are watching the Virtual Cantina Network.
Woo!
Hey, I'm in the dark.
Hey, everybody. That's right.
This is the Republic. Welcome to another episode of the Virtual Cantina Network's Clone Wars Revisited. It is not Season 4, Episode 1. It is the last chance for a shot at Maul. We are the last show to hit Maul. I think Daughters did it. That's Along on Thursday did it.
Yep.
Some of the other guys. We are the last ones to touch Maul. And 2 episodes are out, and we're not going to talk about them.
Oh, we're gonna talk about them without actually talking about them.
That's right. No spoilers.
We'll try to be spoiler free.
Spoiler free. Since
when we talk specifically to Maul, we'll go back to Clone Wars and talk about season 7, because I think up until this show, that was the best Maul content was
facts.
Was season 7 and him being released on his rampage by Ahsoka.
It's definitely some of the most powerful aspects to it.
Right.
And I mean, just to put the icing on the cake, we learned this week we're getting a season 2 of Maul.
Yeah,
so that
I'm hyped.
I'm excited.
Yeah, we can get 10 episodes of this.
Yes,
this one.
Yep, 2 every Monday, all the way to Star Wars Day, to May the 4th.
May the 4th. Yep.
I realized that Maul has been dividing Star Wars fans since 2012. Was when he came back into Vietnam.
Well, he's been dividing himself since.
That's right.
But
it's a team. You set me up on that one, JB.
Yeah, I did see. Look at that. Softball.
So yeah.
Now, I do want to ask a question, because I know Ashley, you and Sarah covered it. So before we go too far in Star Wars, but staying in the space, Skip, Artemis 2, have you been glued to watching the crew go around the moon?
I actually, I got on a little bit today. I think what it was is I finished watching Maul, and I flipped open to the main screen, and there it was. And I turned it on, and they were just about to go behind the moon.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is the most boring content I've seen yet. Now, it was great when they were taking off doing the space shuttle thing. I mean, look, this is some cool stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's been 50 years since I was just a little kid that we went anywhere beyond the Earth orbit.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah. Pretty exciting, but it's definitely more 2001 Space Odyssey than Star Wars at this point in time with the
I did see the clip where they requested that NASA name a bright spot on the moon after Reed's late wife, and they were crying in the capsule when they recommended it. Oh my God, it was beautiful. But yeah, I had to watch that.
Love it.
They're doing some incredible stuff out there. So
they are over 4,000 miles from the moon today, the farthest any humans have been. So very exciting. The launch was great to see. I'm glad we're back. I'm glad
how close was the lunar orbit for Apollo?
That's a good question. Apollo 13, I think.
Miles.
Yeah,
if
Apollo
that's
13,
the farthest anybody's been from the moon, therefore the farthest anybody's been away from Earth.
Someone can look that up for us.
Are we live on Facebook so that Sherry can
we should be up and running.
Okay, where is Jocasta effing?
Where's Jocasta? Where is she at?
Well, good.
I
I'm
can't
excited.
believe
We're
it's your
back
show.
in a space race. We're back focusing. Hopefully by Artemis 4, we'll be back on the moon. So exciting time. An exciting time to be Star Wars fans with the kickoff of Shadow Lord today.
I'm surprised that NASA was able to get funded for it. In this time and age, everybody fighting over every tax dollar.
Yeah.
This getting funded to that kind of trip. I mean, I find it exciting, and it'll be even a little bit more exciting, when there are pictures on the outside, when there's a camera on the outside of Artemis shooting the astronauts getting on the moon, because that's how they did it in Apollo, folks. It wasn't fake. Oh yeah, it was up on fucking mountain to the outside of the spaceship. But yes, the flat earthers are going crazy right now.
Jeffrey, welcome, and good. Glad. Go watch it. Go watch it right away. Come back. But yeah, love the fact that we're getting a season 2 already.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Oh,
go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, Sarah and I have already had this argument. She thinks that they just took 20 episodes in the 2 seasons just to do that. I'm like, maybe, but that's okay.
Spencer, my ring light, I don't know if you can see it. My ring light has officially died. So it's been with me since Rebels Revisited started in 2022. So tonight I am in the dark. It had just happened before the show went live. So I'm like,
it's just perfect. It's the perfect lighting for tonight's episode.
I'm theming for Maul Shadow Lord.
It's apropos to the Maul episodes, how everything is dark and
I'm part of the Shadow Syndicate.
Well, and that is the
Shadow Collective, I should say.
Right?
We're going to be a non-spoiler show tonight, but we are going to talk about the March to Maul Madness.
Yes.
Because
yeah, because I'm watching all the time.
Because it really did. I mean, we were talking about this before the show started. There's a certain look to Clone Wars that has a very much Clone Wars look. Rebels has a little bit more hope to it in its shooting, and all the light and brightness that are in that, because they're on planets that are bright, and then now Bad Batch has a little bit more look that Maul does, because it's now Empire era, where things are dark and foreboding, and then here we get Maul, who's the underbelly. It was funny because I thought they were on Coruscant when I first started looking at it, and then I realized, oh no, they're not.
Yeah, it's a different planet. Yep.
But it has that very much appeal to it, and I love the playing into the underbelly, the crime lords, the picking up where because after the end of Clone Wars, he had kind of lost everything, and now he's having to recapture it and rebuild and remake. So I enjoy the lighting, the style of lightsaber. We won't say anymore. When he's waving, it has a certain look that is very apropos of another lightsaber. And I enjoyed it. I thought it went really well. I also liked I liked who they picked for the voicing of the characters.
Yep.
Oh, for sure. Vanessa Marshall, we love her. She's back as her cast.
Yep.
My friend Lita is already talking cosplay because she has short hair and she has very similar features to Rook. So I'm like, do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, we love that Vanessa's back. Very interested in seeing where it's going. So far, very fitting of Maul. If you know Maul, like the episode fits his his style of doing things. Let's just say.
His style of doing things, his style of conversing and talking, and the way he kind of floats.
Sam doing a phenomenal job.
Sam was great.
You wonder if he's like half crazy, like the insanity.
Well,
well,
and we have lots of aspects of those perspectives of those different character aspects throughout the Clone Wars and what we see where he's going in from Rebels. I think I love it when Star Wars, and this is very much its roots is it picks certain styles, genre styles. We know Star Wars comes out of the Western, as well as the samurai, and we see some of that almost not, I won't say on your nose, but a little bit more of it stylistically in things like The Mandalorian. We saw some great the Seven Samurai from the again from Mandalorian when we bring in Ahsoka. This is film noir.
Yeah.
This is Star Wars doing film noir, and which you already got in the trailer, so that's not a spoil, but that's that grittiness. There's a copper in it, which we know from the trailer. So I like it. I mean, it's almost like, hey, where's Sam Spade? Where's the Maltese Falcon? Let's bring it. So I like it when Star Wars gets to play around in these type of sandboxes and put its own characters and its own world into it. And because then that's some great mashup of links. Yep.
See, I thought Chopper was a war criminal, but Spybot may have him beat right now.
Spybot's an interesting one, and that's and this is to follow this from Spence. I would agree with the Batman-esque.
Very.
I thought of that. Both we just actually watched the original Tim Burton Batman. We showed that to our kids. We tortured them with it. But that, as well as when they did the animated series, that music style, it fit.
Well, did you notice I won't say any more than this, but did you notice the theme that was playing when Maul first appeared?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Oh yeah. You heard it right in the beginning.
Yep.
Yeah, it's there. Yeah, and it's the Kleiner brothers. I mean, so they're
it's Kevin Kiner and his two
Kiner,
kids.
excuse me. Or kids, sorry, thank you.
Yep. I know what you meant.
The Kiner
but it's
family.
cool. It's cool that they pulled them back together since Bad Batch and had them do this animated series.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited, and like the theme's already on Spotify. If you guys want to listen to it, it's already on my phone.
Well, what do you think? How well do you think they connected from the end of they can't connect to the end of Rebels, but the end of Clone Wars leads right into this.
Yeah.
And I thought his not exactly leave Clone Wars, go to Maul, but a month or two or some period of time later, he's it falls right in line with that.
Right. I really think it's interesting. I think the animation, for being CG, if you watch the first season of Clone Wars and then you compare it to how the first two episodes of Maul Shadow Lord are, animation has just improved exponentially. Like, it's amazing. The fluidity, the darkness, the shading, how everything looks, the fight scenes. You guys, if you haven't watched Maul Shadow Lord yet, we're not delving into spoilers here.
We're trying to avoid spoilers.
We're trying so hard not to overshare. But our first impressions, it's gonna blow your socks off. So I'm really excited for it. So thanks, Team Lucasfilm.
Yeah, no, I think it's a great addition to Star Wars. It's a great addition to the animation. Skip, I think you're right. It's different in style. Mm-hmm. I picked up Ashley, I'd love to get your takes. The long distance shots to me looked like, matte paintings
they
more
did.
than anything
Oh my God.
else. So I was like,
that was a shot.
Yeah. That was a stylistic choice.
Yeah.
As I think about it, because it wasn't clean and crisp, like a perfect 3D animation that would take you towards infinity. It was blurring as it goes in the distance. It was purposely,
it's very Blade Runner to me.
That's a good comparison.
Very Blade Runner.
Yep.
So I love that.
So have fun. If you haven't seen it,
go watch it.
Go watch it. If you've seen it, go watch it again.
Honestly, I'm sitting there on my tiny little phone, just like, oh my God, my mom's like asking me questions. I'm like, no. But
And I know,
It's so good.
probably between tomorrow night's get together as well as the Jedi Archives guys are going to dive into the episodes themselves. So that's
Yeah.
more of that's coming tomorrow night.
Yeah,
But
tomorrow night.
we'll delve into the
I'll be at the Zoom meeting.
yeah. We'll be on the Zoom chat tomorrow night. We'll also be talking about the first 2 episodes during next week's Clone Wars Revisited. We won't delve into 3 and 4. We're going to do 1 and 2 brief spoilery thing next week. Not tonight. But beautiful.
So people, when we did our Maul I Know show, people got to see the Sarah and I argue over Maul live, and now it's never leaving the internet. That being said, I'm curious, both of you, Skip and Ashley, what was your initial impressions when Maul came back in Clone Wars? Were you tracking it live? Was it something you came to later?
Maul?
Yeah, when he shows back up in season, I think from season 4.
Okay, to be honest with you, I was I knew of Clone Wars, but I came to watching it later. So by that point in time, it me seeing Maul in the Clone Wars was no surprise that he had come back. So I didn't get the wham surprise effect. But I did. I thought it was. It was like, okay, this is a hard pitch because, he got split in half. They're going to have to really clean the shit out of this one, which they did. And some people might say, well, that's a bridge too far. But I thought after they got him back, they used him so very apropos. Don't get me wrong. I liked him in Clone Wars, which is what we're doing right now, but I loved him in Rebels.
Yeah.
The whole trying to lure oh shit. Why am I Ezra, thank you.
Ezra.
Yeah, it's the end of the day and my brain goes to hell in a handbasket. But that whole trying to lure Ezra into his world and then blinding Kanan, was just very well used. And then even his spoiler alert, his death scene.
Right.
If you don't know that he dies in the end of Rebels, then then too bad, so sad.
Right.
But
hopefully good this time.
But it was very well done. So I enjoyed him, and really I love the way Sam handles him. I love the way the stories were written. And of course, I was in Japan when they released the news at Celebration for this.
Oh,
and
cool!
Was thrilled to death to watch the clips that they had for us on the big screen. It was huge, So I think that I've been waiting for this since April of 25, because that's when I first saw that it was coming out.
Yeah.
And I was not disappointed. It's a 10 episode season. I knew I wasn't getting all of it tonight. But I think that it was important that they released the second episode. And you could just tell. I mean, the way he was playing with the person that he was playing with. That was in the preview, so if you can't figure that out,
right.
You weren't paying attention either. But the person that he was playing with, was very Maul-esque. It was very much like, come on. It's a typical Sith trying to convert somebody. It's like, I'm here, come get me. I'm here. You can stay in there or you can come on out. So I thought it was all well performed, well executed, well written. Athena, Carrie, Dave, all have done great jobs. I mentioned Athena because I got to meet
Brad
her.
Rao.
Brad Rao, Carrie Beck, Athena, Dave and I were walking by and she came by and I yelled out her name and she turned around and came back and talked to us for a little bit. And I explained that we were doing a show based on her content, and she was like, oh, that's great.
Yeah, that's so cool. I love people in animation, man. They're just like the best people. They're most creative and crazy and amazing, and I love it. So
Hell, it's almost 9:30. We could do season 4, episode 1.
We could jump into it, right?
We can either talk about Maul for another 30 minutes, or we can jump into an episode. No.
This is
No.
we're airing now that this Audible was called pretty late for most of us.
Audible is
aware.
definitely the right word.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Sherry, you're right about that second episode. It
So
was
true.
That one.
Action packed.
It was in a groove. There's a lot of action in these.
Yeah, I kind of
first
thought
two.
myself too as it ended. I was like, "Is that the end?"
Yeah.
I was like, no, come on.
No, I want to keep going. What do you mean I don't have another? I got to wait a whole week. Oh,
A whole
no.
week?
I can't just binge it.
So
I know.
dramatic. But I have to say, the amount of Darth Maul toys that came out with Phantom Menace, crazy.
Mhm.
Like the triple banks that lightsaber battle themselves. My uncle got us those when we were kids because they happened to be my brother, sister, and I. So we each got one of those. And I remember fighting with my siblings over who was going to get the Darth Maul because he looked so scary. But
Yeah.
even though I was 16, just like shouldn't be doing that. But yeah. So 2019, we had Celebration Chicago. And I remember one of the main exclusive collectibles at the Gentle Giant booth was a Darth Maul statue with the pulled together garbage spider legs. And it was one of the hot items to get at that con, along with like the Ahsoka Tano long sleeve from her universe, which I still have. So those are the two top. And then like you have like the Fantasy Flight card game with like the little Vader miniature that was everyone was going nuts for. But I remember that Maul, and I'd be like, did this really happen? Because I didn't watch Clone Wars until a year later when we had the pandemic. And then when I finally got to that episode during the pandemic 2020, is when I sat down and watched Clone Wars all the way through. I'm like, oh my God, he's gone freaking crazy. Like it just he's trapped in the ship. He's muttering to himself, Kenobi, revenge, vengeance. He's lost his damn mind. He's pulling parts of the ship in space to just fashion himself a leg, and he looks terrifying with this giant half spider body. And it isn't until he gets back to Dathomir and the Night Sisters where they fashion him actual non-terrifying metal legs.
Yeah,
and kind
of funky, but yeah,
obviously like the when it does like the claw thing like this, kind of like General Grievous.
Yep, right.
Like that part freaks me out. Always freaks me out, but at least it looks somewhat normal to begin with, and it's what tipped me off to that's Maul in Solo when you just see the leg.
Yeah.
But to have him, not only do they like release the insanity from his mind, but kind of like they sharpen him to a point to be a weapon of vengeance. Like this is to take down everyone that has wronged him, the son of Dathomir. And just kind of like made him into a tool, help make him into a further tool for vengeance against the dark side and the light side. Like he's just their own tool for the middleman, I guess.
Yeah.
And to see that, I was like, oh man, learn about Savage and how they turned him into a weapon as well. I have to say though, like, obviously, he's been a thorn in the Empire side and the light side the whole time ever since Palpatine killed Savage. But those Clone Wars season 7 episodes, I'm telling you, it definitely changed the game on not only like theatrics, like cinematic theatrics in animation, but the fight scene itself, like obviously we all know what we're talking about, the mocap fight scene.
Yep.
Just beautiful work.
Yeah, between him and Ahsoka. I remember when I see the trailer, you see for episode 1, you see Darth Maul, you see also the double-bladed lightsaber. You know you're going to get this great fight. I think I saw episode 1 5 times in the theater, like right as it got released, mostly because I wanted to see that lightsaber fight.
It's like, who's that guy?
Over again. Yeah.
So
and
crazy.
so, yeah, the character's originally done in some ways to elevate what Jedi and Sith are capable of. It's to give Sidious his apprentice. He doesn't have too many lines. It's also an important element because and Sarah and I had not a fight, but a disagreement on the quality of this. I mean, he kills Qui-Gon, right? Which then makes Obi-Wan promise to train Anakin. He's probably not ready to do it. And it sets us off onto what's going to become, what our story is, where Anakin begins. And I think that's, Maul played the perfect role, at least from the first 6 movies, right then and there. I want to give credit to George for taking a risk and coming up with a crazy idea. It's my understanding Dave pushed back a little bit to want to, because he, I can only imagine that, logically people are like, he was cut in half, George. You can't just people are they're not gonna, like this. And it's brilliant.
And George is like, well, so is Anakin.
Right. I mean, the dark side, but part of it, and Mark and I think agree on this. One of the things that I think that Sith particularly, or those who wield the dark side, is they are looking to try to overcome death. They are trying to figure out how to live as long or find immortality. I mean, it's what drives Palpatine. It's what drives, it's what hooks Anakin. And so Maul, with all his anger, his rage at probably Sidious, at Obi-Wan, is what kept him alive. And so, if I'm not mistaken, hey Jim, Katie Lucas wrote the first 2 episodes of Maul. She also wrote the Witches of Dathomir. So crazy. Yeah, it's and she ties. I love how she ties in those various cultures, this new way of looking at the Force, and I love the question of what does a dark side Force wielder who's not a Sith look like, and that question just with Maul, you're off to the races.
Absolutely.
You get that theme of his motivation, his action, and what he's going to do is not about taking over the universe. The Sith are all like, okay, we must conquer and take over everything. And here's Maul going, I must survive and I must, gouge out and bleed out the people that have betrayed me, but I don't have to take over the whole world. I'm going to take over this section because, I think Maul has a brilliance that is escaped, or his ego isn't as large as Palpatine or some of the other Sith, in that, he's like, taking over everything means that everybody's coming after you. If I take over my section and stay somewhat in the shadows, I can get what I want and not be attacked by both the light and the dark.
Yeah,
because he's kind of enemy to both.
And I think he develops that. I think if you watch, when you watch the first 3 episodes, when he comes back in Brothers, Revenge, and then Revival, that arc he's very much trying to get Kenobi.
For sure.
He's got Savage, he gets his legs, he's got lightsaber, and he's in Revenge for a single purpose mode. But I think, and probably part of it was being an apprentice to Sidious. And George has said Sith have long plans. I think he starts to now think a little bit more longer term. And I also want revenge on Sidious. He's turning this into more, which then by the time you get to the next arc, when he's with the Mandalorians, he's building the Shadow Collective.
Absolutely. And I think the thing that builds him up for that, inspires him to not only use the people of Mandalore, but I feel like that's also vengeance. That's also vengeance on Kenobi, because it's like, hey, I'm using your lady's people against the rest of the galaxy. So that's like another big, right there, Kenobi. I may not have killed you, but I'm slowly destroying you by turning your lady's people against you and everything you love.
Absolutely. And we have one of the most, devastating death scenes in all of Clone Wars in that story.
Still.
I know, right?
I have that Hot Toys figure of him in the Mandalorian armor.
Oh wow!
And I had to get it. It was extremely limited edition. I talk about it all the time. It's one of my favorite figures in my collection. But just having him in that armor, I'm just like, it still hurts to like look at the box. I just can't. But yeah, Ultimate Vengeance.
Across the board, whether it's Clone Wars, Rebels, or now even Maul itself, I think he's been handled exceptionally well. I think that Dave did a good job of interpreting him in Clone Wars, and then carried that on into Rebels, and obviously is between him, Carrie, Brad, and Athena have developed him, along with Sam Maul's interpretation of him, have really done a great job. When you take some time and look at him, he's not a simple character. You think he's simple because his actions or his plans are not as deep as Palpatine's, but at the same point in time, I think that you get a taste for the fact that he's like, okay, I can't go that way, but I can go this way. And he comes first into his first, your first visage of him is of all of revenge and take him down and destroy those that hurt me, and into, okay, I need to play the longer game, let me take over. I think he learned in trying to take over Mandalore that if you try and take over too much, you'll stir the bees. You'll get too much attention, stuff that you don't want to come at you. So if I stay in the shadows, well, we won't mention more than just the shadows. If you stay in the shadows, then you can take over the dark underbelly of the world, and nobody's going to come after you for this except for the underbelly itself.
I agree.
He's also very good, and this comes out in both the Mandalorian arc, and it also comes out in the season 7 when he's talking, particularly with the Shadow Collective, and what he's trying to tempt Ahsoka. Is he knows a lot. He knows a lot of Sidious's plans, and so he's able to use the truth to twist his own lie in his own way of trying to get a hook. He's constantly looking. I mean, from early on, from Savage on, he's trying to find an apprentice. He's trying to find people to follow him. He wants someone to have that master apprentice relationship, and he can embark. And I think we're going to see more of that in the new series. But he uses mostly truth and then just sort of turns it a little bit it's a certain point of view. It's his point of view of the world, but he's got a very different one than what we're used to because of where he has been, how he's been rejected and cast away as one of his big lines and used. And so he has seen it. He continues to survive. And so I think he's a character that is from a different part of the Star Wars universe. Again, it's the underworld that we don't normally see in the main storylines, the main arcs. So I think he's such a great character to take us on this journey. And it's fun, even knowing a little bit of the bookends.
Yeah, for sure. I think as probably now everybody who knows has heard me on this network and on this channel. I'm not a big baddie person. Like I don't like the baddies. However, Maul is extremely intriguing to me because he is the poster child for what happens when you let revenge and your quest for revenge take over your entire existence.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, Toby! Toby heard vengeance.
That's right.
Hey,
vengeance is mine.
But I
no,
think
it's Avery coming over from my mother's house. She's
oh,
building a big floral thing that she needs for her wedding. And they've
I
been over
gotcha.
there working on it. And she's coming in the front door. And Toby's like, oh my God, somebody's coming in the house. I can come in the house and he'll bark at me. He's like, I have one job. This is it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I do, Sherry. The murder bot is key. For some reason, like Maul
Murder bot.
having like this central part in not only getting vengeance, like he's playing the middle game, like the long game in the middle. Like he's
Mhm.
trying to destroy both sides using both sides.
Yep.
And I think his quest for an apprentice, just anybody who's a Jedi who could be molded into an apprentice, case in point Ezra and now Devin. It's these people that are young and are strong in the Force, but are not jaded entirely yet. Like they're still in that that hopeful era of things. And the fact that he has to find an apprentice so desperately to make any impact, like he feels like to make any impact against Sidious and against Kenobi and everything, it's just like it stresses me out because ultimately it didn't work out for him.
Right.
Like when you watch Twin Sons and Rebels, he's got Ezra with him and he's used Ezra to get to Kenobi, not to train him in the dark side of the Force, but to use him to find Kenobi. And ultimately it leads to his death. So that's like his last push for an apprentice. And I'm wondering, as the series goes on, if we'll see more apprentices or is it just going to be this one? So yeah, I'm curious.
Yeah, that's a good question. Because we know, if I've got the time.
Hi,
Oh yeah,
Liberty.
Spybot. Everybody loves the Spybot.
Sassy Spybot.
That sassy is a good word for it. So we're picking up at the early part of the Empire. It's timeline wise, it's after we see him when he escapes in season 7 of Clone Wars. There, and so it's again past the time where he was sort of not at his peak, but he was built. He built during the Clone Wars. He built the Shadow Collective, which was pulling in the various syndicates, the Pikes, Black Sun, Crimson Dawn. He was sort of bringing them under his leadership. So this is post that. I think it's pre-Solo. So that's kind of, and obviously it's pre everything that we know from Rebels.
Well, he was the head of Crimson Dawn, essentially.
Yeah, he was wearing the Crimson Dawn symbol in Solo.
Yeah. So but we kind of know where it's going.
Am I wrong? Didn't he deal with the Pikes somewhat in before taking Mandalorian on? Mandalore?
Yes, that is one of the story arcs. Is he basically pulls in Black Sun, the Pikes, to basically under his Shadow Collective.
And it seems like at the beginning of the show he's lost them, so he's
on his own right now.
Yeah, this is post end of Clone Wars, so he's having to kind of recapture what he had captured before.
So not only is he worried about the Empire and their ISB, he's worried about getting back at each of the different syndicates because they've taken everything that he's pulled together and they've kind of created a power vacuum by like tossing him out and taking everything that he's built and going through the truce just to get rid of him.
I think this is very interesting in that this is not Coruscant. He's not in the underbelly of Coruscant, which would be too close to Sidious for him to survive. So he's on a different planet. I think that's an interesting ploy to it. It falls into that shadow thing. Let's find a planet where we can take over the criminal world. But we, like the cop says, don't call in the Empire. They'll be all over the planet if we do. Because they're just looking for invitations to take over. And this planet has not been, and I don't think, did we get identified what planet they're on during the first 2 shows? I don't remember hearing the name of it.
They don't say the name, but it's out there. And I can't, it starts with a J. It's on, I know it's on StarWars.com when they do the character breakdown and where they're at. So
So
it's a new planet show wise for us.
So it's so here it is, a planet that is not well known, is off to the side. I think it's very appropriate for him to set himself up on that planet because these people don't want Sidious any more than he does, and they don't realize how they are way overmatched with him. I love it when they say laser swords instead of lightsabers. It's a
Right?
It's a hint to the demolition of the historical aspect of the Jedi. People don't say lightsabers anymore. It's just some laser sword.
I believe the
It's a
planet is
laser.
Janix, Janix. Someone can fact check me on that. But.
Yeah, I'm gonna check it right now. I've been trying to
Very
find it.
fun. But that
Yeah, it's
also
an interesting.
also plays well into the whole fact of the shadow thing. Everything about the shadows. We're playing in a shadow. We're in a shadow planet.
Janix.
We don't want to be anywhere close to enough time has started to process, and this could be in the outer rims where they didn't know as much about the Jedi, so they don't have a proper name for lightsabers. They just refer to them as laser swords. All of that seems to play really well. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
it's a middle rim kind of world, Janix is. So
it's like they got a content advisor who went through the whole thing as they're probably shooting it and said, okay, yes, all the content and the verbiage and the language is all appropriate to where they are, what time it is, who's in charge, and what's going on.
I like the laser sword nod, partly because it's a fun way to tease Star Wars fans by calling it a laser sword, but also Anakin says laser sword to Qui-Gon from episode 1, right? And of course he's out in the Outer Rim. And so but I agree with you. There is they're not, I'll try to say this. You're sort of tossed into these episodes. If you watch the trailers and you read a little bit of some of the behind the scenes, you'll kind of get a sense of where you're at time-wise, I think, a little bit better. But it's also fun just to jump in and kind of going like, where am I? What's going on? I know I'm roughly here. I know I'm in the Empire era. That's clear, although we don't have stormtroopers. Yeah, I guess. So there's some funness to it because I recognize Maul, I recognize Rook, but I got all these other characters. I've got a Jedi and a Padawan who's now post Order 66, probably on the run. What's going on? What are their choices?
I knew I recognized the other Jedi that's traveling with the girl. He was, the All-State guy. He was the president in 24, Dennis Haysbert. So I was like,
yeah.
So I'm glad he's in Star Wars. I was kind of hoping he'd be in Resistance, but this is still good. I like it. He
looks to, and we haven't been given enough information about him, but he looks to be playing the long game with his Padawan too. Mm-hmm. We'll trust in the Force. Let go trust in the Force, and this is, you can tell there's a lot of anger in her about the way the world is. She obviously had a taste of the pre Order 66 world. She obviously had been in the Jedi Order at some point in time when the Jedi Order was still around.
Yeah, it can't be a little too far out because it still feels fresh. Like they're still adjusting and to being on the run and everything. So.
And I don't think the Empire's still trying to establish itself across the galaxy.
Yeah, because this is a world that the Empire doesn't exist on, really. I mean, this is local security, local police action. And
this is very reminiscent of Andor in that regard. Like pre-war.
They don't want, there's conversation and saying, no, we don't want the Empire there.
Yeah, first season Andor, I got those vibes, both from the police and
the costumes.
And the costuming. Yep. I thought the same thing. I'm like, those look very similar to what I've seen elsewhere. They're not identical, but there's definitely a nod.
Yeah.
Just a nod or a taste, flavor.
Yep. Yeah. Which is fun, which is because I feel like they're pulling in a lot of various elements without being too prescriptive, without being too, on the nose. And they're just sort of letting us ride through it. And it's
and it's important that I think it's important that they tie those elements together so that it feels like the same timeline. that we see in Andor.
Yeah.
Because it probably is. I mean, Andor takes place after the fall of the Republic, but the Empire has not gotten overly pervasive.
Yep.
Right. I think you're right. Yeah.
I think one of the challenges with Maul too, of trying to understand him from beginning to end, is that we got him in various chunks. I mean, we have episode 1, and then 2012 is when he shows up in Clone Wars.
Mm-hmm.
We get through that initial story arc by 2013, but that's season 5. So we see him captured by Sidious. We know Sidious isn't going to kill him, but we have no idea what's going on. Then the next time we see him is in Rebels. And we get the book end, we get that end of him when we get Rebels. And then by and that's 2016. Then 2020, we get Clone Wars. And before that, 2018, we get the Solo shot. So his story has come to us in various different parts of the timeline, almost a Doctor Who style.
And I feel like there's a lot of like open areas, as Sam has said, for him to play with. And it's very interesting. So.
And we of course also know when his storyline ends.
Right.
Yeah. Fill it in the gaps.
Which I think is neat. My son will argue with me that's the plot armor, but I think that constraint helps you a little bit, because he's not going to die in a lightsaber battle through this entire series, because you know where it goes. But what does that mean? What does that mean for the other characters that are with him? What does that mean for the choices that he makes? Are there potential choices that could be in front of him that we could see that may have led him not to the path where he on? And I think that's a fun way to unpack a story, even when you kind of know where it's eventually going to lead to.
Agreed. I think with Maul, sometimes I feel like Maul is playing the long game, but other times I feel like, okay, he's got a plan B, a plan C, a plan D, and but he's interchanging them out as he sees fit. But some of it is like, okay, you're just being a little too impatient with this. Like you're rushing it. This is your problem. Like you're still so eager to get that revenge that you're just kind of diving into things. And I feel like ultimately that may have cost him Savage in Clone Wars, because he was just like, I'm gonna go up against Sidious, and if I team up with my brother, we'll do this, and like kind of so eager to have his brother by his side as his apprentice that he wasn't thinking when he realized, oh shit, Palpatine's gonna kill him and then kill me. It's like,
well, I don't know that. I mean, I think he always knew that Palpatine was strong in the Force, but Palpatine always plays a devious, let everybody else do the hard.
Yeah.
And then just like when they came to arrest Sidious in Revenge of the Sith, that scene where he kills Savage is very much like, yeah, let me show you what I really got for you.
Well, yeah, what I can do. It also answers the question of how did he have that other lightsaber in Revenge of the Sith? Because he carries two.
Yeah.
I thought that was brilliant.
Carl says, just finished the 2
yes,
episodes. I think I have a new man crush on Whitworth. Sorry. Girl, we applaud you.
And both Sherry and Liberty have mentioned the calf consumptions. I, as someone who is very much addicted to coffee, day in and day out, I appreciate that nod in this show.
I literally work in a coffee shop, so I'm just like, yes. I still have not had black calf on Batu, but my love for Ord Mantell mix from Kat Saka is legendary, and I see that in the Mandalorian and Grogu coming up, so I'm really excited about that.
I kind of bypass that since I'm a non-coffee drinker. I like my caffeine, but I don't get it from.
You don't get it from coffee?
I don't get it from hot brewed fluids.
I drink. I'm a New Englander, so I drink iced coffee constantly. So.
Oh, sure. Yep.
It's in my blood.
Yeah.
But I think we've hit it good. I think we've touched on everything. I think we did it in a non-spoiler fashion.
We tried, folks. We tried.
We tied in Clone Wars, Rebels, and Maul all together. What do they call it? Is it Maul Shadow Hunter? What is the name? Official
Shadow Lord.
Shadow Lord, not to be confused with the book Shadow Hunter.
Right. It's going to be a great. I think it's going to be a great series. We know we got another season coming.
I think it's going to be very apropos. If you don't like it, you just don't like Maul.
And that's and the Star Wars universe is the Star Wars universe is big enough for people not to like Maul and like others.
Everybody's allowed to dislike what they like.
So it's going to be fun. We've got a couple more things coming up. Let me throw that on real fast. So tonight we pivoted to Maul. The after show's tomorrow.
Yeah, don't miss that. Everybody get in the Zoom chat, discuss the episodes if you have watched them, and stay tuned for the Jedi Archives guys to delve deep into it.
Yep.
I've heard her. I've got to go see Hail Mary.
I've heard good things about it, but I have not seen it either. And even though we've been talking about Maul, our Maul madness, it's time to pivot to The Mandalorian.
Yes.
So watch along. I know. I can't believe it. So they're starting off right in the beginning, Chapter 1, The Mandalorian. So Season 1, Episode 1. Life at Lightspeed has got a name change. They're VCN Transmissions now, but still the same team. And then the Unifying Force is going to be also talking about Maul, which I think we'll be doing week in and week out. As we also ramp up to get ready for Mando and Grogu. So a great time to be a Star Wars fan.
Heck yeah. There's so many good things coming out about it. I've heard, not sure if it's official yet, but I know they're starting to drop the May the 4th stuff. Some things have popped up. They're going to have the Jedi Temple Guard lightsaber, just the single one, not the box set that has been previously released. A single one, and they're reissuing the Temple Guard mask, which I will have to get for Kanan Jarrus purposes for my collection because I missed it the first time. But yeah, I'm. That's what I'm most excited for this May the 4th. The merch is kind of to be honest with you. Not really loving it too much. I think it's kind of it's a little too posterized for me, a little too bland. But the other stuff I can deal with, and hope they get some cool mugs. I'm a mug girl, so
always use more mugs.
Exactly, can never have too many mugs.
Well, Skip, Ashley, thank you so much for letting me join with you guys tonight to chat.
Good time.
So,
good conversation.
We tried so hard not to delve into too much from the episode if people haven't seen it, but again.
Get off here and go watch it tonight.
Go watch it.
Then you won't be able to sleep all night.
Yeah, you'll be so psyched. You'll be like, "Oh my god, why isn't it next Monday already?" It's so worth it.
I know. I know.
You know me, guys. I don't like the baddies, but this is intriguing.
It's worth it.
Very intriguing. Carl, I'll have to send you that thing I saw, to show you that because I'll send that to you in the message. But yeah, so I think we're in for a good ride with this character. I think we're going to learn things that
we're going to finish this up just in time to watch Mandalorian.
Yep.
And then live off of that for a while.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Then we've got Spider-Man and Avengers coming up, and what else do we got?
Those are the big ones.
26 is loaded up pretty good.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. A lot of good stuff. A lot of good things for fandoms out everyone. So
well, long live the Republic.
All right, guys. May the Force be with you. We'll see you next week.
Have a great night. Thanks, everyone.
Hello there.
Hi, I'm Mark Von the Director of Programming at the Virtual Cantina Network, and I'm here with James Arnold Taylor, the voice of Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Obi-Wan Kenobi. Yes, I know that one well. I have the high ground if I do. Wait, yes. Thank you. Now I have the high ground. And you are watching Clone Wars Revisited. This is the show you're looking for.